Hi there, folks. My name's NovaWing24, and welcome to the Three Festive Simmers. Yes, we have put aside our grumpiness in the names of all things community spirit, in our chance to be able to reflect on all that was and all that can be into the new year. But before I wax too far lyrical, let us be joined once again and introduce my two fellow not so grumpy simmers that are back with me once again for this final episode of 2019. So I'm joined once again by my good friend Sergio from helisimmer.com.
Hello, everyone.
With his fantastic background there again, which I'm still jealous of. Seriously, I've been Googling.
He's showing off.
He's just.
I have no cat sign trying to kill me. Bye, Drew. Bye, Drew. Nice to meet you.
And
she's showing off.
Yeah, just here, chilling out.
And of course, we are joined once again by our Tomcat-loving, IPA beer drinking, and possibly about to die in his sleep cat owner Luna, or rather servant to cat Luna, Drew Bell Geode.
Poor Drew.
Listen, you speak for yourself about this not being grumpy business. It's almost 3 a.m. here. Trust me, I'm grumpy. So is Luna, because you woke both of us up from our nap. So let's get this show on the road.
So to put that in context first, so basically before, as we've gone to the air, we managed to not be too technically challenged, but we managed to have several cats at each of our residences all be rather confused, upset, and going, WTF are our servants doing on this call? For some reason, they all managed to speak to each other across thousands of miles. Anyway, right, so of course, we are here as the second part of a little bit of our reflection, a bit of naval fluff gazing for the year that was and what a year that it was. Now, of course, in our last episode, we all reflected upon what was our greatest experience and our greatest moment for simulation of 2019. And then in this episode, we're going to be looking into the crystal ball, gazing into the future, and to try and predict what may be and what we are most excited for in coming up in 2020. So we're going to start with you, Drew, this week, and we're going to find out, so what is it that you are looking forward to most as in the year that is to come for flight simulation?
I
Hashtag
think
Tomcat
it is. Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry.
Pretty much. That's my answer right there. No, I think it's easy for everybody to expect the answer Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, MSFS 2020, as we are dubbing it. That's not the official name of it. It's just Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I would be lying if I said I was not looking forward to that. Is it going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread and canned beer? I think it has potential. It's a really strong starting place. What we got to see in Seattle was absolutely incredible. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it really blew me away. And I can't really say that I'm disappointed in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that had been a letdown for me was the fact that they didn't include VR from the beginning. But if that's going to be there by the time this thing eventually launches, and bear in mind, I think this thing is barely into alpha testing now. So who knows how long it's going to take until it actually releases. It literally could be another year, could be this time next year before we're actually seeing it, for all we know. We really don't know. But aside from that, the giant white elephant in the room, I would say the other thing that I'm kind of looking forward to, I have heard that there are several DCS related items that are becoming, one of which is my absolute favorite World War II bird, the F4U Corsair by, what is it, Magnitude 3 they're calling themselves now, no longer Leatherneck Sims, something like that.
They used to be Leatherneck, didn't they?
Yes, yeah. Okay. Now they're Magnitude 3, so between that And the other module that I'm hoping is going to come in 2020, which is Polychop's recently announced Kiowa, the OH58. Both of those items I am really looking forward to. So, win or lose, I mean, you really can't go wrong. Next year, it's going to be a pretty kick-ass year, I am sure.
Yeah,
And there's
absolutely.
just so much good stuff coming.
And that's something that we can really draw on. Like I remember many years ago when actually I believe it was when Drew, you and I first met was at one of the flight sim cons, and
Hmm.
the keynote speech was how everyone had written off the flight sim genre or the simulation genre.
Flight sim is dead.
Flight sim is
Yes, I
dead.
remember that.
And there was this dude in a purple hat at the back filming with me, and we got talking. And yeah, it's really interesting that that we sort of went through a period, and it was looking rather grim for a while, but I think that definitely we're seeing more stuff come through. So yeah, I think as you said, lots to look forward to. Remind me with
Hmm.
that F4 Corsair, is that for F4U Corsair? Are they doing the birdcage or are they doing the bubble top?
They're doing a bubble top. They're doing the F4U1D,
I
I
was gonna say the
believe.
D if
So
they're doing
yeah,
the bubble top. Yeah. Okay. All right.
yeah. Whatever they're doing is like, I guess more late model, like tail end of World War II and beginning of Korean War, and it also is supposed to come with the Essex class carrier, which will be awesome. We'll actually have another aircraft carrier that doesn't have a deck this time. That's gonna be cool.
Angle, yeah, without the angle deck, it'd be interesting. Right, there you go. So, all great things to look forward to. So, with no further ado, Mister The World is my helipad. So, tell us, how are you envisaging that 2020 is going to help aid you in your plans to take over the world one helipad at a time?
Yeah, well.
By the way, folks, subtle lesson. So, a serious plug there, folks. If you do want to see and support the work that Sergio and the team at Helisimmer do to support all simmers around, head over to helisimmer.com and grab one of their shirts. Seriously, they are just awesome. Anyway, sorry, unscripted plug there. Do that. Anyway, moving on. Right, Sergio, over to you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Well, yeah, we cannot go that far away from what just Drew said, the elephant in the room, which, considering it's an elephant related to aviation, it's kind of a Dumbo in the middle of the room, right?
Wait, should we call it the beluga?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, I think it's
yes,
up to
I
that.
think so.
I
Yes,
think it's up to that.
yeah. We have a beluga in the middle of the room. Yeah, it's very hard not to be eager to check Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Even if it doesn't have helicopters right now, but from what the team told me, there goes Luna. From what the team told me back at Ransom, that's something they don't want to release right now because they are not able to do them properly. So they'll be waiting, until probably after the first release, the first final release, to start working on them. So yeah, I'm very eager to try Microsoft Flight Simulator, especially after checking out at Renton and flying around the scenery. It's just amazing. Um, the other thing that I'm looking forward to, and I know Drew is going to back me up on this. Flight Sim Expo 2020 in Vegas. I'm
Ah,
looking
yes.
forward. Yes, I'm looking forward for the next FSE. I'm all at that, pumped up, ready for it. I hope that some stuff that me and some other guys are working on will come true. It will be very nice for us out there as well. I'll be thrilled to get to spend some more time with Mr. Belgio, Mr. Purple Hat, and a few of the other guys from the community. So that's going to be very, 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 very fun. And of course, there are a few other releases I'm expecting and hoping that they will come true in 2020, such as the Kiowa, which Drew already mentioned. The Polychop Kiowa, and I'm very, very curious about what is it are you going to dominate the world, Drew? Just, you
No,
have to get us.
Luna's going to dominate the world. It's
Yeah.
cats. So, in case you haven't wondered, cats rule the world. Humans are just their slaves. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah,
Yes.
just yeah.
Mhm.
I was saying that I'm very curious. What is it that VSKYLABS is going to do during 2020? They are becoming a helicopter developing machine.
I
They
noticed
did,
that. Yeah.
yeah. They did the Cadbury G2. They did the Mini 5. They did the Sicari 8. They are working on the whole family of Robinson. So we have the R22, 44, and 66. The guy seems to be hooked on helicopters, and I cannot wait to see what is it that he's going to be doing through the whole. Yeah, I didn't do
Thank that guy. Thank that guy.
Well, he was getting into helicopters anyway. We just gave him exposure, and the community just welcomed him with our arms wide open. So it worked for both parts. It worked for both parts, for VSKYLABS and the community. So I'm very curious to see what is it that VSKYLABS is going to bring next year. They are just pumping up, new stuff, helicopter after helicopter. So I'm pretty excited about it. And that's pretty much it. I think 2020 is going to be an excellent year for the community, for Flight Simulator in general. Let's see what other surprises may be lurking around the corner for us.
Absolutely.
It's a whole new decade, so we've got all new opportunities available. I firmly believe that what we said, I would say, how long has it been that we've been doing this thing now? Like about 2 years?
2 years.
When we
yes.
first started this, we said that we were at the beginning of a new golden age of flight simulation. I firmly believe that is what we're going to see start blooming next year.
And
especially with Microsoft backing it up. The fact that Microsoft came back to the market, being so big and having the amount of money they have to spend on marketing and reaching out to people, and what they told us at Renton. Remember, they won Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, let's call it 2020. Like I said, it was the community that named it. They want to make Microsoft Flight Simulator accessible to everyone, and that's key, because that will bring a lot more people into the hobby. It will bring the new blood that we need so that the hobby continues to grow and thrive and gets sustainable. I think we mentioned this a few episodes ago, that we were getting old. Our community was getting old. Yeah.
And that's something that's so important and is so underestimated. And unfortunately, I think far too many members of our community forget that they were young keyboard bashers at some point, early on. At the end of the day, we all had a gateway into our passion and our hobby somehow. Whether that was Microsoft, the Sublogic Flight Simulator back in the day, whether it was Microsoft Flight Simulator, 2, 3, 4, or 5, whether it be, Jane's ATF, whether it be DID software, Eurofighter, like there are a plethora of ways that we came into this hobby and into this passion, but we all started young once, and none of us are getting any younger. And one of the things that we have to be careful of is that, and I've seen it happen in other hobbies and small niche interests over the years, that we have to be careful of, one, that we don't price ourselves to death, out of the market into death, and two, that we don't have an elitism that will kill us stone dead as well. That's something that we have to be careful of, and we always have to make sure that we're encouraging and welcoming new members to our community, that we support them when they come in, when they come in with, and there was, again, we've all talked about it. We all three of us manage and run various forums and groups around the vast interwebs. There was a post that came up in one. I won't detail the exact details of it, but basically it was someone who turned around and said they don't have a lot of time for simming. They don't have an hour to sit and program an FMC, just to be able to push back from a gate, to be able to think. By the time that they've programmed the FMC, they're done. They have to go back to the real world. So they want something, they still want to have the joy and the passion, the experience of flying, but they don't want to spend 2 hours programming an FMC. And you know what? Their simulation experience is just as valid as the
Right.
person that programs in the chart and the SIDS, the stars, and flies on Pilot Edge and pays a subscription to Pilot Edge. Both of
And
those
really, when it
simulation...
comes down to it, too, you can't judge somebody else's sim experience, because that same situation that you're talking about right now, there was another extenuating circumstance involved. That particular person has medical issues. They physically cannot devote too much time to it, but they still have the same amount of passion for flight simulation. They just can't do it like long haul. In fact, I'd love them. I don't know, exactly how long of a time period they're going to be able to do this. So,
and
yeah.
and that's...
Before you judge somebody else,
Exactly.
try to put yourself in their shoes.
So just remember, folks, that yes, it's all well and great to have an Airbus that serves you coffee, that the 10 billion lines of code that form out the Proline 21 are all accurate to the singles close bracket, but that simulation experience is just as valid as the person who wants to start an engine and fly and experience the joy of flying. Okay, both of those experiences are exactly valid and exactly warranted. So, before the old saying of people who live in glass houses should always be bear in mind. So, I didn't want it to be a negative thing, but I just wanted it to be a positive thing. I wanted everyone to think about how you started in this hobby, how you started your passion, and help foster that with others, help grow that.
Especially now.
Exactly,
We're
especially
seeing,
now
yeah,
with us being on this
we are
verge.
seeing.
Mm.
We are seeing. I can relate to a lot of the guys and our groups out there on the Facebook groups and get a bit annoyed by the fact that we are getting the same old questions over and over and over and over about Microsoft Flight Simulator, right? Will it run on my machine? Will it have this? Will it have that? There is a search option on groups for you to use.
Okay.
Please use it.
We're going to
It's not
say,
like-
can we, Sergio, I'm going to interrupt you there. Can we save that for another conversation? Because we're supposed to be the happy simmers in this episode.
Yeah. No,
And truth
but
be told, Sergio, the people who are asking those questions more than likely are not watching this video. Let's be fair about that.
I know, but
I still
I'm
want to
not,
find out what Mr. Tristan is waiting for next year.
look,
Tempest Fugit, man.
I'm just building on top of what Trish said. I'm not saying this for the guys that are asking the questions. I want to say something to the guys that are not answering the questions or are answering the questions. Some of them are, which is
We don't know.
We are having a lot of new guys coming into simming. It's not just the old guys that don't know about the sim. It's also about the new guys that don't know about any of the sims out there.
The new kids that saw the trailer at E3, that started that
Yeah.
fire, that inquisitive going, this looks cool. Maybe this is something I want to experience. Exactly. We need to support those people. They're taking their, as borrowing a line from a very beautiful movie, taking their first steps into a larger world.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's try not to be too annoyed about it and actually try to help them and welcome them into the community. I think we all remember when we first started that we had the support of the guys that were into the hobby for longer, and they actually helped us and gave us hints and gave us tips, and we read everything on the forums and whatnot. Let's try and do that for them.
Yeah.
Let's try and have a welcoming environment for the new guys that are coming in 2020, and we are going to have a lot of guys coming in 2020. I have no doubt of that.
Yeah.
Let's do that for them. Let's not be let's not be jackasses, and let's just embrace new guys.
Exactly.
Scalp's honor. I promise. I will. I'll count to 10 before I reply to any thread.
And I do want to see. I absolutely 100% agree, Sergio. And that's the sort of the point we're trying to make here, is that we're trying to make sure that one person's experience is no less valid than another's. If you disagree with how they are experiencing, how they're enjoying their simulator, then that's fine. You don't have to agree with it. but it's not your right to denigrate it either. If it's not how you sim, that's fine. You sim how you want to sim. There's I remember in an event I did a couple of us did many years ago, is that one of the things that really struck me is that simulation is about what you want it to be. And that is a really, really big point. It's a really key point. Simulation is whatever you want it to be. And it's conversely, that goes both ways. So if somebody else is enjoying their sim, but it's not how you would sim, that simulation experience is no less valid than yours. So that's it. All right, okay. I'm going to get off my my virtual high horse there for a moment, and I'm going to talk about what I'm looking forward to the most. Now, of course, yes, we have the Beluga in the room. Wait, hang on. That's the Airbus one. What's the Boeing one? It's the Starliner.
Yeah, something.
I know something. Whatever it is, the giant 747 Guppy. Anyway, so we have Microsoft Flight Simulator, and Microsoft, of course, following the well-trodden path of rebooting franchises over the last few years of dropping any numbering system and just simply naming it for what it is. Really great. Looking forward to it. I think from what we experienced at Renton it is going to be a true game changer. But at the same time, we do have to take on a few points of going. It's still a phase 1 alpha right now. So I personally will be surprised if we actually see a full release by the end of 2020. I actually think that it will not see a full release by then. We might see a more open release, maybe like an open beta or a paid beta, but I don't think we will see a full release within the next 12 months.
Plot twist: Microsoft goes DCS. Early access.
Please, folks, please review our previous episode on the early access discussion. Moving on. But no, the thing that I'm actually looking forward to the most in 2020 is getting my hands on Dead Stick. So for those out there who may not know, and again, I know for a lot of people out there, this isn't your simming experience of choice. Dead Stick was was one man's dream of creating a flight sim that replicates flying in sort of like the tundra and the wilderness of the sort of like northern wastelands of Alaska and Canada. It was his vision of just going, he wanted a sim to do that. He couldn't find one because sadly we as a community killed flight. Moving on, next topic. So he went and created his own. Now he's changed tack a couple of times with some development challenges, but it's looking really amazing. I really can't wait to get my hands on it. And I know, Sergio, you've been fortunate enough to actually have got your hands on it at Cosford this year. And
last year as well.
And last year as well.
It was actually last year.
Yeah, so I'm really jealous that you got to do that. But I'm really looking forward to seeing it because I think it looks absolutely amazing and the concept is awesome. One of my favorite areas to explore in a Carbon Cub was Alaska. So yeah, I think it'd be a great I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most in 2020. So and perhaps maybe if I can find a way, I will try and get over to FS Expo. Unfortunately, I'm getting married the weekend before, so maybe not, but we'll see.
This is going to be Bell Geo's grand adventure because I've got to go to Hawaii first for you, and then I got to come back to Vegas, and then I've got to come back home. Oh my God!
Can you see all of the lower 48 and Hawaii in one trip? Maybe, I don't know. If there's any business jet owners that are out there want to sponsor us, we'd love to feature on the show. Moving on. Right, so that of course is what we are looking for as a little cohort here into the distant future of 2020. Now, of course, up to the part that you've probably all just skipped to now, which of course is us announcing the winners of our competition. So we, of course, asked you, our wonderful fan base and our listeners, to think about those same two questions. What was your greatest moment of 2019, and what are you looking forward to the most in 2020? And we have a range of prize packs, 3 different prize packs to give away for that. So, first off, I do want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors for this giveaway. So we've got thank you very much to Nimbus, Dreamfoil, Xtrident, VSKYLABS, XRotors, and Just Flight for sponsoring the giveaways here. And I'm going to throw the spotlight back to you, gentlemen, and get you guys to announce what you chose. So, of course, yeah, it wasn't a game of chance or random numbers. It was well, guys, we actually read all of your answers to the two questions, and we each selected the answer that resonated with us the most. So we're going to start with you, Drew. What was the answers that you received for the person that you picked as your winner?
I just remember number 10. That's all I remember.
He's obviously closed the spreadsheet.
Whichever one is number 10.
So allow
you
me.
did a good job, number 10. Yeah, I'm looking at you, 10. I'm looking at you.
So allow sorry, you get to stuff and listen to my voice now. So the answer to our number 10's answer was that for the best simulation moment of 2019 was when he was gifted a copy of the TBM 900 for X-Plane 11. And then learning how to fly it and actually how to start it up by the book and follow the procedures. He was also really excited to actually have the carbon cub and the kit fox for in X-Plane 11 from Big Tire Productions. And for what he's looking forward to most in 2020 is that he is, like we are, cautiously hopeful that MSFS 2020 will be the sim that we have all been asking for, with everything out of the box that we currently have to buy and make our sims work well and at a reasonable cost, which of course is something that we all agree with as well. And that comes to us from Taylor Hetzel. So congratulations, Taylor. We will be contacting you shortly so you can claim your prize pack of the Nimbus Huey and the XRotors AW139. Right, Sergio, what was who won? Whose answers attracted your attention and hit you right in the feels?
We got some really good answers, and I before we were about an answer that I really liked, but I kind of reviewed it as we were speaking, and I'm actually going to change it because I overlooked. I overlooked this. The thing is,
There's always one.
For some reason, yeah. But you understand why.
Live TV, folks. Live TV. Anyway, yes.
Yeah. You understand why. For some reason, I was, as I was reading the answers, I didn't notice this small detail. And number 7, the guy that's number 7 on our list said that the best simulation moment for 2019 for him was purchasing XRotors AW for Mediflight Ops in Sweden. You waited very long for the helicopter, and I finally saved enough money to get it. So this kind of strikes me as a guy that had to be spending some time saving money to buy a helicopter. So why not giving him a couple more prizes for him to win, right? And what he wants to see most in 2020 is having a sim build. So he convinced his flying club to get a simulator, and he's going to build it and to make it available for people to use it. He also wants to try and convince the helicopter business to acquire a simulator for heli-ops training as well. So this is a guy that's committed to simming, committed to getting people into flight simulation, had to save up some money for the prizes. I know I just threw you curveball, Tristan, I'm sorry. I completely, for some reason, I remember all the answers. I completely missed this one. And I think it's definitely the best answer. And the guy is the guy for me that deserves the prize. And his name is number 7, Dragoljub Blagojevic, maybe something like that. Yeah. Congratulations.
I have never heard a name pronounced like that before in my life. But congratulations, whatever it is that Sergio just said.
Dragoljub.
Please don't nuke his country. I'm sure he didn't mean what he just said.
So I feel like that's whenever I'm trying to say Drzeki Designs on the Nova app.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
We won't go there.
Okay, okay. So congratulations for that name. I'm not even going to try and pronounce your name because I'm sure I'm going to offend someone. You have scored yourself the Xtrident Bell 412 and your selection of one of the VSKYLABS helicopter range. We will be in touch with you shortly so we can arrange that for you. And finally, we come to mine. Now, this one, I like Sergio, it was tough for me. It was coming down to a couple ones, and I did change my mind shortly before we went to air when we all sort of convened and discussed it all.
So you did enough time.
So this one, I didn't do a hit. I didn't do a Sergio right now. I can't tell you that. It's the other one I'm talking about. This one, I'll be honest, this one hit me right in the feels. Right here, this one hit. So, anyone who's watched my channel for any length of time know that I have a very soft spot for Microsoft Flight. It was what brought me back to this genre. I left this genre. I left the genres quite some time ago, and then I came back with the launch of Flight. And again, I saw possibilities of expanding possibilities of the future and exciting things happening. And then I saw all the bad things about our community happen. But every now and again, but what it also did is it reminded me of the good things about our community as well. And this moment, this answer got me right in the feels. So because, contrary to popular belief, the sim might be dead. It's not as dead as people think. So Microsoft Flight still has a very small community that's still flying, and I'm one of them. And this answer this person gave was that they had a group of friends flying Carbon Cubs in Microsoft Flight in Hawaii, water skiing, playing around, trying different weathers, airports, and strips. His best moment of flying in 2019. That was that hit me right there, because that was something that a lot of us did, and because we could actually water ski the Carbon Cub, which I think you can do with the one that's been released for X-Plane 11, but only with very recently. Basically, if you touch it, sort of like the water, it went all sorts of bad. But I think you might be able to now, and that was the thing, is that back then, Flight was the only one where you could water ski a Carbon Cub. And that's cool. And it was just so many memories came through that. And then what they're looking forward to seeing the most in 2020 is that they're looking also forward to testing Dead Stick Bush Flight Simulator for a whole new flying experience that he fully supports because of that as well. So, so to Franck Boudet, congratulations. You were my pick. You hit me right in the feels. Right in the fields, bro. You got me there. You had me harking back to 2012. So thanks very much for that. So congratulations, and you walk away with the prize of the Dreamfoil Bell 407 and your choice of one of the Just Flight GA aircraft range. Again, we will be in touch with you shortly so we can sort out your prize. So that wraps up Christmas and season's greetings Yuletide edition of the Three Grumpy Simmers.
That's 2019 in a wrap.
It is.
And another decade done.
Oh, we're getting old.
Yeah. You realize 2020 is going to be a big year for me. I turn 50. November 18, 2020.
Bruh.
We're assuming I'm going to live that long.
You better. You have lots more to report.
Yeah, I kind of don't have a choice. I got to do this again next year and give away more stuff.
Pretty much. We're a fixture now. We're going to do that. So, and I see Luna's decided that she's had enough.
Yeah, she's got the best idea. That's my next stop right there.
So, final closing, quick closing thoughts for the year from you, Drew.
It was a pretty impressive year. Looking back at it now, I don't think I could have predicted any of what happened this year. The only thing that I knew was coming at the beginning of the year was the F-14 Tomcat. That's it. and I got that. It was everything I hoped for. But the rest of the year pretty much just blindsided me, and it was a good kind of blindsiding.
Mhm.
I was impressed, and I can't wait to see what's in store next year.
Got it. For you, Sergio?
Well, it was indeed a great. I was mind that happened. I was very, very lucky to be able to do things that I always dreamed of doing, like going to Flight Team Expo again. And I'm repeating myself here, but it was something that I wanted to do for quite some time, and I managed to do it. I managed to finally meet Drew with Drew. I managed to finally meet you, Tristan, as well. Thanks to Microsoft for allowing us and giving us a
Thanks,
chance to
Bill.
do this.
Thanks, Microsoft.
It was a great year. It was quite impressive. We were struck with a nuclear bomb in the middle of the year with Microsoft Flight Simulator. I am very grateful for all the friends, all the people that have supported me and Helisimmer throughout the year. I am extremely grateful for you guys to keep on doing this with me. I just love doing the Three Great Simmers with you guys. And I know we have quite a few guys out there that know and like what we do, because we are a bit different from the other streamers that talk about flight simulation. So that's a huge blessing, and that's a huge plus
We're
as well.
we're very different from the rest of the ones
We're
out
very
there. I think is what is the best way to describe
yeah,
it.
we're special.
Right.
Okay, well,
I feel, I
just
feel, I
just
feel
wanted
the
to thank.
comments. I feel the comments coming through now. Okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they like us better when we're actually bitching and grumpy about something rather than when we're happy. So
Okay,
I don't know about that, man.
let's promise something.
Let's not push
First
it too far.
video. Let's promise something. First video of 2020. We're going to be grumpy. We're going
Okay.
We're going back to grumpy.
Okay.
I can handle
We
this.
just
I can
need,
handle this.
yeah.
Yeah.
We just need to talk about something like airliner. I won't go there.
We'll save that for Grumpy next year. All right.
On that note,
I suppose it now falls to me. So my thing is that it for me once again was there were some highs and some lows, but overall again it's about the sense of community that we can foster when we want to, and seeing the positives and the negatives of a community. It was such an interesting year of seeing both in very vivid detail, particularly once Microsoft announced its return. Was seeing that sharp divide happen, and it was funny actually. Somebody had obviously watched one of our old episodes, one of our old Three Grumpy Simmers episodes, and made a comment on it about how Groundhog Day, and in some ways when Microsoft made the announcement, I felt, hang on a minute, didn't we just live this already? Didn't we just go through this life cycle already? So it'll be interesting to see if we get a different outcome this time. But I am hopeful that we as a community have learnt something. I hope, maybe. But the biggest thing of all is that I want to thank the viewers and the listeners.
yeah, absolutely. Without you, this show really wouldn't exist.
Because and I mean this in every possible sincere way here, is that for each and every one of you who watches this, who listens to this, who watches one of Belgio's or one of Drew's videos, that tunes in to the weekly flyby on Helisimmer, that reads the articles on Helisimmer's website, that comes to look at the liveries that I publish and now publish on my website, that looks at the reviews that I put on YouTube, or that tunes into the Nova app every week, or that suffer through three middle-aged guys rabbiting on about a hobby that they're passionate about. We do this for you because we believe that together we can achieve great things. And we hope that we can help be that conduit for you to help express some of the things that we are concerned about and the things that we're excited about. So thank you to each and every one of you for being there, being the inspiration for our journey, and also being part of our journey. It's really an honor and a privilege to do this with you and for you each and every day. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for making what we do worthwhile. So there you go.
Here.
Definitely.
On
Definitely.
that philosophical note, I think it's time for us to sign off. So thank you very much. Don't forget, as always, I want to say thank you very much to my two other Grumpy Simmers. So thank you to you, Sergio, from helisimmer.com.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Don't forget to subscribe to the helisimmer.com on YouTube, and also head over to the Helisimmer's website and the Facebook group as well. And thank you very much to you, Drew, for you getting one sim closer to your cat for every sim.
It's still a goal. I do have one final thank you that I want to put out there. You may have noticed that I'm wearing the Aliana shirt. I'm wearing it one last time in 2019 in honor of the artist who created this shirt, Miss Bonnie Lee Kennison. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us unexpectedly. She passed away a couple of months ago. But honestly, she's the one who gave Ali a face. So my highest thank yous for 2019 goes to you, Bonnie.
Amen.
And on that note, that is my year done. Thank you guys for always putting up with me.
you still,
and my crazy cat.
You still owe me a drink when we get to Flight Sim Expo. All right, and so don't forget, folks, to head over to Drew's channel on YouTube to subscribe to all the adventures of all the different simulation worlds that he goes through. Remember, simulation is more than just flight simming. There are many avenues to simulation there. And with a cameo appearance from one of my cats behind me, that is them wrapping up from me, Novoing. Don't forget to possibly throw a like and a subscribe onto this video and onto my channel as well. And if you want to support the work that we do every year as the Three Grumpy Simmers, please check out the Patreon in the description down below as well. All right, folks, that is the Three Grumpy Simmers done for 2019. It's been a long year. I can't even speak right now. We're signing off. Thank you very much. All right, folks, take care. Safe skies to all, and we'll see you, grumpy as ever, in 2020. Bye for now.
Ciao.
See ya.